Have you heard those in favour of the referendum telling us that it's an opportunity to unite the nation? And have you heard those against it telling us that it's divisive? Well, I pronounce it divisive and some say divisive, and I'm absolutely fine either way. Anyway, back to the referendum. Will it be unifying or divisive? I want to look at this from three very different angles. Firstly, I want to contemplate the proposal. Secondly, I want to contemplate a possible result on voting day and what that means. And then thirdly is the human angle. Now, the proposal is to alter the Constitution to provide for voice, treaty and truth-telling. According to the way the Prime Minister has crafted the referendum question, the proposal is for the exclusive benefit of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people. If we keep our attention focused on the question and the proposed alteration to the Constitution, then it is the Indigenous people of Australia that benefit, technically, rather than the broader mainstream Australian population. And as best I can work out, recognising Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people in the Constitution will reduce animosity held by Indigenous Australians against the rest of Australia. And for their part, non-Indigenous Australians would be officially recognising our prior occupation, culture and continuing place in our wonderful and shared social fabric. Now, I totally understand that recognition of our Indigenous past is a good thing, and that absolutely most Australians would support that without a doubt. But the referendum is not really about recognition. The Prime Minister has said on many occasions he intends to implement the Uluru Statement from the Heart in full, and that means voice, treaty and truth-telling. Now, these are fairly big administrative initiatives that will affect how the government deals with Indigenous issues and Indigenous people. A successful referendum will, for millions of Australians, create a unifying sense of warmth and fuzziness because at last it recognises Indigenous Australians. But I can't help but wonder if at the same time there will also be millions of Australians feeling a sense of division because of the creation of race-based processes and institutions. So in my opinion, the proposal itself could lead to both unity and division. Now that leads me to my next topic, which is a possible result on voting day. At the referendum voting day in September 1988, there were 4 questions. One question, called the Rights and Freedoms question, united Australia against it because it only just tipped over 30% of the popular vote in favour and did not win a single state. Now that's a united no. At the other end of the spectrum, in May 1967, at the referendum on Indigenous matters, just over 90% voted in favour for the popular vote, and it won every state. That's a very united Australia voting yes. Back in their day, politicians would have looked at these results and would have been very clear how the population felt about these 2 questions. The people had spoken. But in 2023, I don't think we are likely to see unity at either end of the yes or no equation. I nearly said spectrum, but there is no spectrum, just a binary hard win or hard loss. Now, I am not making any sort of prediction, but for the sake of our conversation, let's assume that it's a fairly even outcome. Let's say close to 50-50 popular vote and 4 versus 2 with the states. That will not be unifying. Even if it's a win, the Prime Minister will be faced with the prospect that nearly half the population were not convinced that this is in the best interest of the nation. Yeah, he'll get to create his new political institutions, but I think there will be division within society as to the efficacy and principles of the referendum, maybe even some legal challenges. Turning to the human element. If you don't feel comfortable to walk down the street wearing either a yes or a no t-shirt, if you don't feel comfortable talking about this at the dinner table, If you won't share your voting intention with a pollster, if you feel you are having a political views forced upon you, then it's already divisive. And come whatever result on polling day, yes or no, I think the politicians have already lost. I don't know if this is going to be unifying or divisive. Maybe that's a decision for you or your household or how you come to terms with the result. It's actually really hard to tell. So please give this some serious thought and please get talking so that when you vote, you know why you are voting one way or the other. Well, that's all from me today. Please subscribe, turn on notifications, and feel free to share your comments down below. Also, check out our webpage for a bunch of different ways to learn and collaborate with us. See you soon. One last thing. Have you ever made your own Scotch finger biscuits? 3 years ago, they released the recipe. There's only 4 ingredients, and I'll put a link in below. Authorised by Wesley of the Centre for Indigenous Training, Albert Street, Brisbane. Oh, that's sad. I'll have to eat it now.